straights were on a roll until the 70s when gay made a comeback when Paul Lynde was given the center square. Impressionable children homesick from school watched him, were converted, and boom. Ever since, it's been gay, 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 gay.
That was Stephen Colbert's take on the controversial law in California to add gay history in textbooks this weekend. This weekend, same-sex marriage officially becomes legal in New York. And today, another step toward victory for gay rights activists. The Associated Press reporting that President Obama has just certified the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. After 18 years, the process is certainly rounded third, but we may not be at home plate just yet. There's still 60 days before the ban on openly gay service members can be officially lifted, but we're on the way. Time to bring in the Friday mega panel. Democratic strategist Krystal Ball, Reuters Energy editor-at-large Chrystia Freeland, and the nation's Ari Melber. Welcome, all of you. Energetic Chrystia, welcome to you as well. I want to put up, as we get into the Don't Ask, Don't Tell thing, we've got a list of countries around the world that have had gays serving openly in the military for years. These are countries including Australia, Austria, Belgium, Canada, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Netherlands. You can see the list. New Zealand to Norway. It's really from A to U. We don't have Zimbabwe in there, but we're kind of late to the game on this, Chrystia. Why don't I start with you? Is this a good day for America in this sense?
Yeah, I think it's a great day, and I think actually, you know, this has been a pretty bad year for a lot of people. It's been a bad year for the U.S. economy. It's been a bad year for people who are unemployed. But one point of light is I think this is a year that America has taken a real step forward in terms of treating gay people like fully fledged citizens. And so, hurrah for that. You know,
Krystal, I have a friend in Israel whose line I always thought was the best on gays serving in the military, where they've had them serving for a long time. They say, for us, if it's enough to die, if you're willing to die, that's enough. And it seems that way. Yeah. Why shouldn't that be the way?
I mean, that's exactly right. We have dismissed 14,000 gay and lesbian service members since 1993. It's unbelievable. But we have to keep our eyes, too, on what the next fight is going to be and where we need to go next. And I think repeal of the Defense of Marriage Act really has to be pushed now, because let's face it, if you're in the military and you're in a committed relationship, that relationship is not recognized. You don't get base housing, you don't get health care, you don't get the same spousal benefits that straight couples get. So that's really the next part of this fight.
And Ari, you've written on this for years and had a great piece I wanted to put up a quote from. I'm going to quote you before we actually hear from you.
A little me before me.
A little Ari before a little more Ari, where you said, you know, the military's been stretched thin across the board. The entire U.S. military continues to turn away qualified translators and intelligence officers who might help prevent a future attack. Why? What could possibly lead policymakers to do that? The personnel are gay. And at that time, as you were writing, the military kicked out 58 Arabic linguists alone. Crazy, it seems.
That's right. We had a linguist shortage. They actually took 40,000 applications for linguists and only got 200 out of them. And translation of Arabic and other languages of interest were a big issue, but they were actually firing people who were doing that translating, that critical work, because they were gay. I think if you look at the discrimination against gay people in American life, this is not the #1 issue, right? What this has been, and the reason why it's so important, and so many voices, including, I think of note, Rachel Maddow of MSNBC, have really shined a light here, because it shows you just how clearly gay Americans were treated as second-class citizens. One example I'll give is that during that same period we've been talking about, and Krystal talked about the 14,000 booted, the U.S. military raised the age to 42 of people they would take to fight and started including convicted felons. So that kind of blows your mind. You say, oh, yeah, we'll let the felons in, and I think there are security reasons why that might be a bad idea, but we won't let gay people serve because of what they do in their private lives. So that, I think, is why this is a big issue. As you said, 100% want to echo what Krystal said. We have bigger fights ahead.
And yet, even though, just a last word on this quickly, is that even though the military has resisted this, certain quarters of it have, my sense of folks I know in the military is once the orders come through that you will do this, just like with integration, 50 years ago after Harry Truman insisted on it, it will happen. There'll be an execution machine in the best way of executing something. I don't mean execution. And this will become something that will seem archaic, in a few years, that we didn't, like so many other countries, actually do this.